All right, this application is the kitchen appliance. Basically, we instantiate a kitchen, and then we instantiate all these objects like dishwashers, appliances, plumbing, and then we instantiate some dishes. And then we put like dishes inside of a cupboard that's been instantiated, take them out of the cupboard, make the dishes dirty, put the dishes in the dishwasher, wash the dishes if there's room in the dishwasher, and then if there's any, take the dishes out of the dishwasher, put the dishes back in the cupboard. If there's any dishes that we haven't finished cleaning yet that didn't make it in the first load, keep on looping through all the loads of dishes until they're all clean. So I set up several interfaces to handle the plumbing issues. We have iPlumbing, which inherits the interfaces iWater Provider and iWater Consumer. So we have the pipes, and every object that consumes water has to get rid of water somehow. So, for example, you have the dishwasher that takes hot and cold water from the pipe, and then it puts that water out through the waste pipe. So it's connected to, its consumers would be the let's say the wastewater pipe, and the provider would be the hot and cold water pipe. So we basically have a method that they all must include. It's the hookup method that must include the consumer and the provider. So we have under consumer, we have receive wastewater, and we have a provider method that must be included. And under iWater Provider, we have a consumer method and a request clean water method. So the water comes from, let's say, the dishwater gets its water from the pipe, but that pipe gets its water from the meter. So then inside of the meter class, we have a method that'll increment how much water's been used. And we have meters for the hot and cold water, and then we have a meter for the wastewater that's used. Just like a regular house that has meters on it that does not have a normal septic system, I guess. So from there, all right, so we have our pipe class that basically just has a listing of, kind of what's attached to what, and has the methods to hook up the various components. The hookup method that they all have basically has your consumer and your providers. If the consumer's null, add the consumer. Add a provider to this consumer, because really each consumer has a provider and each provider has a consumer. They're kind of like rhetorical. So I'm just going to launch this application to show you how it worked. I have the appliances, which are the dishwasher and the sink, and that's where I dropped in. This is a partial class, which the dishwasher inherits from. So I put the providers and the consumers in there, and I also put the object or the methods provider and consumer in there. So let's go to start the program, and I'm going to break it right after we have instantiated the dishwasher and are creating the sink. So let's just launch it. Actually, I broke it when it's hooking up the wastewater, but I'm going to go ahead and play through that. So here's the end result. We have our Maytag kitchen appliance up here, and then we have our sink that's still in the mix being instantiated. Let's just go through the Maytag appliance. Okay, so we have our Maytag appliance that has how many dishes are loaded, where it's located, which is inside of the kitchen. And inside of the kitchen, you have like all these objects that are attached to the kitchen. We got hot water, got cold water, got the cupboard, we got wastewater, we have a septic system that's attached to it, and a water meter. So, but underneath the appliance, which is the base class for the dishwasher, attached to it we have one consumer that consumes from the appliance, and we have two providers. So under consumers, we have a pipe. In that pipe, go from where the pipe inherits from, and that pipe has a consumer, and that pipe has a provider. The provider is the dishwasher that's providing the water for that pipe, and the consumer is the septic tank that's consuming water from that pipe, from the dishwasher. So let's look at the providers. Base class, we have our providers. These are two pipes that provide water to it. We have first pipe, which is the hot water pipe, which has two consumers, and it has one provider. It's getting the water from the water meter. And the consumer has, the two consumers are the dishwasher and the sink, which is also attached to the same pipe. And the other pipe that's attached to it is the cold water pipe, which again has two consumers, the sink and the dishwasher, and it has one provider, which is also the water meter. If you go to the water meter, let's go all the way to the base class of the water meter. The water meter has two consumers, and I didn't do a provider for the water meter, but the two consumers of the water meter is this one pipe, which is the hot water pipe. That pipe has two consumers, and then I have the cold water pipe that comes off the meter that also has two consumers. I didn't get into like hot water tank or anything like that. So the pipe class inherits the interface iPlumbing, and the dishwasher inherits the appliance, then the iRunnable, because I have a runnable interface if it can actually do some kind of action, and then I have the iWater consumer and iWater provider methods. Because this, we don't actually have a hookup method inside of the appliance class. We just have a that it can be attached to a consumer, that it's a consumer and it's a provider at the same time. Let's see. Then we go to the pipe. When we go to instantiate the iList, or the interface list, we're actually just instantiating the interface. So we have our consumers, and then when we go to the consumer, we're actually creating a list of iWater consumer and a list of iWater providers. So that's all I had for this assignment. Oh, and then the meters. Basically, I had a water meter in case we have electrical meter down the line, which inherits from utility meter, which is an iWater provider, and then if I have electric meter later on, I can add it as a utility meter with the interface of iElectric provider. Then we have our methods that are required by the interface, and that's where they're instantiated, units delivered. So let's just run the rest of the program. So it creates the cupboard, dishwasher, sink, connecting up the appliances. The appliances are now connected to water as a generic list, iWater consumer. Get the dishwasher and sink hooked up, connected to cold water, and lists off what's attached to the cold water pipe, wastewater, attached to the septic. So we'll create some dishes. We got different wine glasses, different types of glasses class. And then we're going to pull out all the dishes for a party, pull out 7 dishes, throwing a wild dish during the party. We've got a dirty dishes, All the dishes are marked as dirty. Party is over. Now we're doing all the loads of dishes until they're done. So it loads up those dishes and it says there's still one dish that couldn't fit in the dishwasher. I'll have to go to the next load. So these are all the objects that are in there and they're currently dirty. Do we want to run the dishwasher? Hit enter. So it goes through and it marks all these dishes as clean. Clean is true. Total of 9 units of water used to clean those dishes. And so now we're going to empty out the dishwasher and we put them back in the cupboard. And then we are put the dish in the cupboard. There's still one more dish left. Do we want to clean this dish? Yes. Total of 18 units. I have it set up so the dishwasher always uses the same amount of units of water. All the dishes are done. I'm just going to go through and show you how we handled getting these dishes out.